Hey guys, what the fuck is up you guys? My name is eManDad642 here, and welcome to the one, the only, technically the first annual Mmm Gah and Assinator Awards. If you don't know what these are, well, me neither. Back in 2017, I started the Mmm Gah and Assinator Awards, which are just awards that I give to what I thought were the best and worst games, movies, and albums of the year. I did this in 2017, but I procrastinated until December 31st. And so it was really bad. It was one video where I didn't really talk about anything, but never mind. It was bad. And I didn't do it last year because that was during the Great E-Man absence. But I am doing it now. I am doing the 2019 Mmm Gah and Assinator Awards. But since it's the last year of the decade, I decided I'm not only going to do it for 2019, but I'm going to do it for the decade as well. Which I thought was going to be a lot harder than just doing 2019, which it is, yeah, technically. But coming up with nominees for the 2010s is a lot easier than coming up for 2019. So how this is going to work is that I will pick 5 nominees, 5, and somewhat briefly talk about them. And at the end, I will name a winner. Why winner? Or in the case of the Assinator Awards, a loser, which is the worst categories, of course. And I will talk about my final thoughts on the winner. So enough explaining. Welcome to the 2019 Mmm Gah Awards for the best game of the year. This is basically part 1 of 12 videos. 3 best for the year, 3 Mmm Gah for the year, 3 Assinator for the year, 3 Mmm Gah for the decade, and 3 Assinator for the decade. So, welcome to the best games of 2019. So, my friend, Grandadad, who you should not subscribe to because he still has not uploaded his 14 fucking subscribers special, and it's been over a month at this point. So he told me about this game that I thought looked cool. So I bought it, and it was really fun. Wargroove is a tactical RPG like Advance Wars, which I know a third of my audience plays, or just Grandadad, which is the reason why he told me to play it. Is it as good as Advance Wars? No, it's not. But it's a really good game. Wargroove takes the Advance Wars style of having a unique commander and summoning waves of units during battle, but the medieval setting is, well, exactly like Fire Emblem. Every unit is important and useful because every unit is strong against another unit, but is also weak to another. Wargroove is not too long nor too short. The gameplay feels extensive, but it doesn't really do anything, well, really that unique. A lot of missions are really fun, but many of them are way too long, especially since you can't quick save. If you lose during a long mission, then you'll have to do the whole thing over again, which could be really annoying. But the game isn't too hard, so you shouldn't die very often, but it does offer somewhat of a good challenge, which I really did enjoy. Speaking of challenges, you could set your own difficulty, and it's surprisingly complex. It's not like modern Fire Emblem where you could set it if your characters permanently die or not, obviously. Nor is it just a simple, easy, normal, hard mode. But you can change the damage received, income, and groove charge, which is a special and unique ability that every commander has. If you set the setting to too easy, then you can't get all 3 stars on a mission, which you need a certain amount of stars to get the true ending. Definitely the best part of the game, and what made me buy it in the first place, is the level editor. It is fantastic. The editor is really detailed and really complex, but the lack of an undo button is a dire mistake in my opinion. You can not only make missions and maps, you can make a whole fucking campaign, which is awesome. There are cutscenes and side quests, and you can play in co-op. between platforms. Whether you are playing on the Switch, Xbox, or PC, you can play it together. But not PS4. Like, come on! The graphics of the game are really nice to look at, and really fits the game and its personality. I personally didn't like the story and characters all that much, but they're by no means bad. The characters can be pretty interesting, and do get better over time. The gameplay was fun and exciting. The customization is amazing, and the multiplayer is some of the best for a game like this. The whole game was a very enjoyable experience. If you are a fan of tactical RPGs, or just want to get into them, I highly recommend this game. Cadence of Hyrule is an interesting idea. It's something I would have never thought would be possible, but it happened. It's a crossover between Zelda and an indie game. Cryptid the Necro Dancer. Haha, get it? Necro Dancer, because it's a rhythm game? Haha. And it works surprisingly well. So how the game works is that all of battling takes place on a grid-like area, and you have to battle in time with the beat of the music, which is a really neat idea. Especially since Zelda has some kick-ass music. Like, damn, it's good. And it works quite well, actually. The game's graphics are similar to the GBA Zelda games, but in beautiful HD. And I must say, the game is quite beautiful to look at. The music is not really Zelda sounding, I guess. I mean, I know they had a different music style in mind when designing this game, you know, compared to other Zelda soundtracks, because this is very different. It's very electronic and EDM, which is fine, but doesn't really fit Zelda at all. I don't think of electronic music when I think of Zelda. I think of this. Everybody get up. And this. But the music is nowhere near being bad by any means. It's very catchy and fun to listen to. The squares are randomly generated, which is cool, and that means every playthrough can be different. But a lot of the time, the squares can be a complete mess. The dungeons are also randomly generated, which they suffer from the same issues. The game is designed to play multiple times using multiple different strategies. One playthrough is not enough for the whole experience, which is good if you're into those kind of things, but in my opinion, and especially for Zelda games, I don't really think that's the best way of gameplay. The game feels like a true Zelda game for the most part. It accomplished something that I didn't think was possible. Cadence of Hyrule was a really good rhythm type game, as well as a really good Zelda game. Super Mario Maker 1 is a pretty cool fucking game. So how could they ever top that? Well, they did in a lot of ways, and it's fucking Nintendo. Even if the game was perfect, which by no means the first game was not perfect, they could top it. It's pretty hard to make a game like this bad, but there were a lot of things lacking from the first game that were added in the second game. What you could do with a course maker is very extensive. Very extensive. There are a lot more options when it comes to designing levels, and more victory options instead of just reach the flag, which is awesome. So there are many more level designs than there ever could have been before, which makes this game much more interesting than, let's say, the stale new Super Mario Bros. Series. The fucking selection wheel. New things such as the selection wheel makes level making a lot easier. And now you could tap on something to use the variation, which is a lot better than having to combine things and fucking shake them in the first game. Mario Maker 2 has a cool story mode where Peach's castle fucking dies and you have to do jobs, aka play a bunch of levels and get coins and pay for a new castle. There are a lot of unique developer-made levels in the story mode and in the endless mode, which they're all really good. The game is overall great and is a much needed improvement of the first. Wait there is one more thing. Online multiplayer sucks. I'll be honest, I did not play this game. As much as I really, really, really want to, I didn't have the time. And this game is a game that's really best played in full. I really do love me some Fire Emblem, and everyone is saying how amazing this game is, so I do think it deserves to be a nominee. Man, this video is like a lot shorter than I thought it'd be. Luigi's Mansion is a very well-crafted series. Dark Moon is a great game, and I was wondering if they could ever even come close to how good that game was. Just like in Dark Moon, Luigi has new powers which feel natural for his ever-growing move pool, but also adds new and interesting ways to take on the ghosts. Of course, there is also Luigi, who offers more ways to puzzle solve and allows you to explore every nook and every cranny in the hotel, because he can access places where Luigi can't normally, being a puny mortal bitch and all, which is good because there are a lot of secrets in this game. A lot. Like, every room there is stuff to find. One problem is, Luigi is really overpowered with being able to smack ghosts around. In Dark Moon, Luigi had to dodge other ghosts when they were chucking shit at you, but the game is still fun. The graphics look amazing, and the whole hotel really comes alive. And the game really looks dark, which of course is needed for the game's spooky atmosphere. It's not really bleak or boring at all, though. It really looks interesting. I've never really liked Luigi's Mansion music all that much, but it's as good as I really expect that to be. There are also bosses for all 6 floors, and they are a lot more unique than the ones that were in Dark Moon, which were fun, but not super good. There were some issues with controls while using the dark light and the suction shot, but they aren't really that bad. The hotel is really non-linear, and obviously there is no mission system like in Dark Moon, but there are 6 floors, and how you traverse them is kind of unorganized in a good way. You do have to get the same buttons in the same order, but you can do things at your own pace. And for a game like this, the way that the style is implemented in this game, it works absolutely perfectly. The game is definitely worthy of the Luigi Mansion title. Woo! Well, that sucked. Anyway. Time for the winner. And the Mmm Gah winner for Best Game of 2019 is... Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Now I know I didn't play this game, nor did I even talk about it at all, but this game is, well, it's regarded as one of the best Fire Emblem games we've seen in a while. Fates and Echoes were really good games, but they didn't come close to as good as Awakening was, which is okay. But this game truly can be held as one of the best games in the series. Well, that was the first episode of the Mmm Gah Awards 2019. Fuck you. Alright, fuck you.